Good morning, folks. So here we are. It is Monday, November 16th, and today we're going to start getting into a pretty complicated week, namely because this week we are going to be trying to complete New York State Lab number 2, diffusion across a membrane. Now, this lab is a big one, and in order to make it work, you may see the schedule behind me. I've had to kind of split things up based on who will be here in person on what day and who won't, due to the hybrid schedule. So I want to first start by going over the basics. As this week goes on, I will post more and more videos basically each day, kind of explaining another aspect of the lab. So let's start with the basics. The lab itself is going to be composed of 3 separate files that you're going to need to complete all 3 and turn in all 3. Now, the first 2 are pretty straightforward, and you should be seeing them up here on your screen now. The first one is the diffusion across a membrane lab. This is the state lab, all many pages of it. All right, this is going to be the primary thing that we work on over the course of this week. When you're here in person, this is what you're going to be doing. Now, the other one is going to be our red onion plasmolysis mini lab, which you can see kind of right here. It normally fit on one page, but well, you know, formatting is a thing. So anyway, those are going to be the primary 2 files. There's going to be a third file as well. And the third file is going to be a worksheet based on the red onion cell. And it's going to be questions directly from the Regents exam, which you will be taking in June, the reason why we're doing this lab. And those practice questions, there's going to be about 12 of them, need to be completed and turned in as well. So for class here, this is the schedule that we are going to be looking at. Let me bring this down. All right, well, it is what it is. So Monday, today, my Purple Day lab folks will be doing the indicator tests because we're only going to have 1 bell. Monday, today, the Purple Day lab folks will be doing the red onion plasmolysis, which is the separate lab that I was just showing you. Tuesday, Purple Day lab people will move on to the main part of the lab, the cell diffusion. Meanwhile, our White Day lab people will work on those Regents review questions. Wednesday is a chance for anybody to catch up on any of these that they may need. And I'll be here to help you guys do that since that is our virtual day. Now on Thursday, my Purple Day group will do the red onion cell plasmolysis that the White Day group did today. I know it's getting confusing already. And meanwhile, since the White Day lab group will be here, we will then be working on your indicator test since you will only have a single bell. And then on Friday, the Purple Day lab group will work on the red onion, the Regents review worksheet. And the White Day lab group will work on the main lab itself, the cell diffusion lab. So in order to turn this in, the final lab turn-in will have room for all these files. You must send me the cell diffusion lab, the red onion plasmolysis, and the red onion worksheet. Those are going to be the 3 things that make up this one lab. This is why this lab is so big, why it's so hard to make up, and why it's worth so many minutes. With all of this work going on, this lab is going to be worth 100 minutes. Literally one lab for 1/12 of the total minutes that you need for the entire year. It's a big lab. It's going to take quite a bit of work. Now, let me show you how I have this set up in Schoology, just so everybody can follow that. Now, I set it up, I think, pretty well. In Schoology, we're going to go into Unit 3 for cells, same place we were last week. And we're going to find week number 2. For most groups, week number 2 is going to be way up top like this. Inside week number 2, I have it separated by part 1 and part 2. Purple Day Lab people, you will be doing part 1 Monday and Tuesday. White Day Lab people, you will be doing part 2 Monday and Tuesday. And if you look inside, both of these have not just a file, but also a link to a YouTube video going over what the different parts of this lab are. It's a little bit beefy. It takes a little bit of work to get through, but it is a required piece for the New York State regions, or as required as things get. Technically, you don't have to do it, but the last part of the test is based entirely off of the 4 state labs. So it's generally a good idea to do it. Now, there's not much else that I'm going to go over today because I want to make sure that everybody gets the time that they need in order to test the things that they need to. So I hope that this helps. Tomorrow I'll be back to explain a little bit more and go over things just a tad in greater depth. So with that said, I can't wait to see everybody this week. It's going to be busy. It's going to be challenging, but you know what? I think it's going to be good. Have a great